The moment you change your perception is the moment you rewrite the chemistry of your body. Each of our cells is a living entity, and the main thing that influences them is our blood. If I open my eyes in the morning and my beautiful partner is in front of me, my perception causes a release of oxytocin, dopamine, growth hormones, all of which encourage the growth and health of my cells. But if I see a saber-toothed tiger, I'm going to release stress hormones, which change the cells to a protection mode. People need to realize that their thoughts are more primary than their genes, because the environment, which is influenced by our thoughts, control the genes. Just like a single cell, the character of our lives is determined not by our genes, but by our response to the environment signals that propel life. As soon as you start to tell yourself in your perception that you can't do something anymore, then your biological system will adjust to prove you right. You will not do what you think you can't do. Beliefs and thoughts alter cells in your body. People need to realize that their thoughts are more primary than their genes, because the environment, which is influenced by our thoughts, controls the genes. Life has everything in it, but you only see what your perception allows you to see. Most illness is just stress from not living in harmony. A miraculous healing awaits this planet once we accept our new responsibility to collectively tend the garden rather than fight over the turf. Your perspective is always limited by how much you know. Expand your knowledge and you will transform your mind. If the brain expects that treatment will work, it sends healing chemicals into the bloodstream, which facilitates that. That's why the placebo effect is so powerful for every type of healing, and the opposite is equally true and equally powerful. When the brain expects that our therapy will not work, it doesn't. It's called the nocebo effect. When two people become entangled, one person will conform to the energy of the other person. When one of them is a healer whose cells are vibrating at a higher level, the client's cells become entangled and their energy is lifted. That's why that old saying, "Physician, heal thyself," is so important, even though most don't understand it. If the physician's energy is going on to influence, or in scientific terms, entrain the patient, the doctor must be higher. The secret of life is belief, rather than genes. It is our beliefs that controls our life. Psych K is a set of simple, self-empowering techniques to change your beliefs and perception that impact your life at a cellular level. You may consider yourself an individual, but as a cell biologist, I can tell you that you are in truth a cooperative community of approximately 50 trillion single-celled citizens. It is far easier to be entertained by a reality TV than to participate in your own reality. When we truly recognize that our beliefs are that powerful, we hold the key to freedom. We are conscious co-creators in the evolution of life. We have free will, and we have choices. Consequently, our success is based on our choices, which are, in turn, totally dependent on our awareness. I am the master of my genes, not the victim of them. Nature is based on harmony, so it says, if you want to survive and become more like nature, then you actually have to understand that it's cooperation versus competition. The fact that science led me to spiritual insight is appropriate because the latest discoveries in physics and cell research are forging new links between the worlds of science and spirit. These realms were split apart in the days of Descartes centuries ago. However, I truly believe that when spirit and science are reunited, we'll be afforded the means to a better world. We can control our lives by controlling our perceptions. Recently, results of the Human Genome Project has shattered one of science's fundamental core beliefs, the concept of genetic determination. We have been led to believe that our genes determine the character of our lives, yet new research surprisingly reveals that it is the character of our lives that controls our genes. Rather than being victims of our heredity, we are actually masters of our genome. Every person perceives the world differently, so essentially there are 6 billion human versions of reality on this planet, each perceiving its own truth. I learned again and again in my life, until you get your own act together, you're not ready for big love. When you're ready for is one of those codependent relationships where you desperately need a partner. We are today beginning to see work by very reputable scientists that says the universe is created by our observations. It is not a coincidence we are actively involved in physically shaping the world that we experience.